Hello everyone. Last month I opened 2,407 chests all across level 20, 35, 50, 65, 80, 95, 110, 125, 140, 155 except Al Kasha, 170 and 200 except of Mineral Tower, Nugord, and Shadowfang. And I also did Rushu with 3 characters, Tenel Rift, and Sophokia Rift with 1 character, where I got 5 chests each. I'm putting the whole result of the chests on the screen. On the left side, we should see my first account chests. On the right side, you can see the second account's chests. So what did I get from all of that? So to start off, I had this many tokens on the left side from my main account, and then under it from my second account. And the result, after I opened all the chests, I will put them on the right side, my main account on the first, and the second account after it. What did I get in total? 300 Infernal, a bit more than 3000 Eternal, 3.2k Exquisite, 2.2k Precious, 1.6k Refined, 6.3k Durable, 5.6k Solid. For raw, I used 3k on resource bosses so I don't overflow my tokens in the bag, because it's only maxed at 9999. So I got in total 12.7k tokens thanks to the troll farming. I got 5.6 rustic, 4.7 fragile, 2.9 imperfect, 2.4k basic, 1.7 course. Now the items. How many did I get? I technically got a lot, more than I could count, because I ended up destroying any item that I don't find interesting or I don't need in my build. So I only kept the ones that I will be using them on my characters or that are nice. Even some legendaries for sale, I kept all the legendaries, I didn't break a single one. But mythicals, I broke a bunch. The total that I kept was 376 items. We'll put a small compilation at the end of the video on each bracket showing you what I got, the cosmetics, the resources from the boss in mobs, and also which items I got. We try to put them all there because I have a screenshot of each one, even the rifts. I actually got 2 small sublimations, solid weapon 1 and counterattack 1 on the Sufor rift, and that's it. But for the resources, I have in thousands. I can't even count them all. So I will put that at the end of the video. Now let's move to the shards. How many shards did I get with all that I got from the chests and that I broke? So the total is 101,891 shards. Just a little bit more than 10 stacks. All of those I will be using them later. And now the more interesting part, which is the cosmetics. I got a total of 51 cosmetic items. That gave me 153 stasis fragments, which I then crafted 3 epic relic sublimation pouch. And I got on the first one Sparkle. Sparkle is alright because it gives you damage dealt if you don't have a shield. It's really nice to farm in, maybe some turn 1, turn 2 farming without shield. I got Outrage too. It's not that great, but it might be useful for the one range, or maybe for some Berserk damage dealer, I don't know. And I got Calibration too. Calibration too, I honestly don't know. It even the sublimation said the price unavailable. It seems to be strong on classes that switch modes, which is Rogue in this example, because like you stack 5 attacks in melee, and you end up getting 10% more damage on distance on the next turn. So you can basically prepare nuke turns. I will just tell you how much Kama's worth I think all of this is. So just the fragment stasis, that's almost 13 million K. The shards, and let me see where I put the number. So the shards, I got 101K. So that's almost 5 million Kamas. And for the resources, I tried to count all that I got from the boss, the monsters, the rare ones. I think it's almost 10 million Kamas across all the brackets. And for the items, because I kept only the nice ones and a bunch of legendaries, I would say it's around 15 million Kamas. So yeah, between all of those, the items, the resources, stasis fragments, and the shards, I think it's almost 45 million Kamas, or maybe a little bit more or a little bit less, depending on how much the resources sell, and if I counted correctly. And that without counting the tokens. The tokens probably will increase it by a few millions, just because I can transform that either into relics or into resources. So that's probably between 45 and 50 million Kamas for 2,407 chests. So now I will just go bracket by bracket, so I show you what did I end up getting. So starting by the rifts, in the Tynela, I just got the resources from the mobs that drop, not much. And in Sufo, I got the resources and 2 sublimations. One solid weapons 1 and counter attack 1. Level 50, 3 cosmetics, some shards. I kept those capes because they are used in craft. I got some mobs and resources. You see like almost 40, 30 each. And 35, I only kept like 2 items that are nice and a bunch of rings. I like those. I got two helmets, cosmetic helmets, a bunch of resources. And 50, it got a bit bigger. I got a bit more resources and a decent amount of items. 65, a bit less cosmetics, a bit less items, but a bunch of resources. Enough to craft some items. Level 80 though was a bit disappointing, because I didn't end up like getting a lot of nice items. But thankfully the cosmetic fragments stasis are alright. And I started getting more shards. See, 4,000 compared to the previous ones. 95, it was purely carried by the Troll Farben with the Ojinak. I got to see like 8 cosmetics, almost a full stack of shards. Some items, because there aren't like a lot of nice items in the bracket that I like. But the resources, I totally failed on the troll items. And you see here is like the one green tooth. That's the one I transformed from tokens. 110, I got a bunch of cosmetics, even that I didn't open like a lot of tokens. It was good to see. We got some items. Thankfully, a bunch of copies of items I want. So I had those. And of course, resources on the right. 125, less cosmetics, but I got a lot more items, especially legendaries. As you see, like the ones that I intend to sell. It's a lot. It's a lot. But I got nice resources. Even even one like 64, enough to craft a bunch of keys to farm next month. And then 140 disappointing, because honestly I did it only on Stasis 3, all of the dungeons on Stasis 3, so I didn't rank up much higher than I could. But I got a few decent items, 2 legendaries that I like, a bunch of to sell, and 2 items, so it's good. 155 was a bit better, even though like I didn't go much higher on the stasis. Only a few dungeons on S4, the rest on Stasis 3. And I got a bunch of nice items. Some in Mythical, which I will upgrade to Legendary to use them myself. And a bunch of resources. Some to sell, which is good. 170 was surprising in terms of shards. I got like almost a stack and a half, and a lot of nice items to use. Some rings, bunch of boots, epaulets, all the good stuff. And cosmetics 3, which is alright. Bunch of resources too, and some to sell. Now 200. 200 I only did on Stasis 3, and not all of them. Except Mineral, I didn't do Mineral Tower, Ombrage in Shadowfang, not Ombrage. Ombrage is Shadowfang. So yeah, that and Nogort. But on the shard side, I got like 4 stacks. 2 capes, it's alright. The 2 cosmetics, not bad. But the items, I was hoping for more, but I got a lot. Especially legendaries to put for sale that I don't need. We put them for sale. Bunch of resources, enough to craft a few items here and there. So it's good. And lastly, I opened actually 6 chests from Rushu, because I did only with 3 characters. And just a little bit of shards. And resources, not all resources, but I got a few here and there. And actually got a lot of epics and legendary just from Rushu. So definitely ultimate bosses is the one that carries, compared to previous brackets where like a 140 did a lot of dungeons. It even gave me like less items or similar. So ultimate bosses is the good way. So the question is, was it worth it? I honestly don't know. I don't have an answer that is not biased on anything. Time-wise, for all the time that I spent ranking dungeons, probably if I were to farm those by myself, maybe just spend my time just farming, probably would have made maybe 80 million kamas in the last month, maybe even 100 million kamas if I farmed. But there is the other thing that I ended up really enjoying doing all of the dungeons a little bit by a little bit. Basically, re-experiencing the early game and seeing what I could do. And I ended up dropping 1 stone, the balance stone, so there is that. I dropped a few sublimations here and there, which I didn't show or anything. So I will just take a look in my bag, so I can tell you how much kamas I think that's it. Yeah, so probably I got like 10 million worth in and sublimations. So all in all, it's kind of similar. So I am not losing a lot compared to farming by myself, like fully farming, and I enjoyed it. Probably I will do the same this month, but I will try to focus more on ranking up. And all of those all of the cameras that I mentioned earlier, I didn't count the cameras that I would have made from selling everything. I mean, even crafting and selling, or maybe like try harding the cameras making. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you give modulation a try. I will definitely try more. Maybe use the cameras to improve my builds, and we will see how things go. Have a nice day. Bye bye.